I stand? Actually, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. How do you turn it on? Thank you, Mr. Baxter. Good evening and welcome to the Allison Steele Class of 2017 graduation. At this time, we request that all cell phones be silenced. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Harris and Chloe Steves will now sing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly revealed at the twilight's last gleaming,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Thank you, Tristan and Landon, for the presentation of colors, and Ms. Harris and Chloe for the national anthem for our ceremony. My name is Sahara Martinez. I am honored to be here standing in front of you all today. Sorry. Sorry. I couldn't have done it without my family and my boyfriend for believing in me. Oh, man. I love you so much, Mom. And Dad, thanks for not giving up on me. I would also like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Knox for helping me and always being there through most of my school life, actually. Love you guys. I love my family. Thank you. And happy graduation. It is now my honor to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Dr. Greg Gibson. Dr. Gibson comes from a family of educators. Both his parents were educators, which inevitably led him to the profession. He has served as our superintendent since January of 2010. This year, Dr. Gibson was selected by the Texas Association of School Administrators and Texas Association of School Boards as one of the top 5 superintendents in the state of Texas. He and his wife, Otika, have 3 college-age children.
Thank you, Sarah, very much, and I appreciate the warm introduction, and I appreciate the fact that you guys noted the TASA or TASB Superintendent of the Year award ceremony, if you will, and I'm going to tell everyone here that that has nothing to do with me. It only has to do with you, the students, and you, the faculty, and you, the parents and guardians. It has zero to do with me. All I did was tell our story, and I kept advancing. So thank you for letting me tell our story to the state of Texas. So let me also be one of the first to congratulate you on a job well done, graduates of 2017. As part of today's ceremony, I would also like to thank and give a heartfelt thank you to, I see the faculty and staff of the Allison Steele Enhanced Learning Center, and I also see many of our staff from our DAP here. I know you probably know this, but you truly have one of the best staffs in the state of Texas, if not the United States. There's not a more compassionate group of educators on the face of this earth that are here every single day for our kids. So thank you, staff members, for everything that you do every day. Additionally, I would like to thank the parents and guardians, family members, boyfriends, significant others, whatever category you fall in, for all of your support. Every one of us stand here today, graduates and superintendents, only because there were some adults when we were kids that were making sure that we made the best choices that we could. And believe me, I had a plethora of adults looking out for me, and it was all necessary. And I thank you for what you did to make today possible. In SCUC, we like to say that we have a one-of-a-kind school district because we have a one-of-a-kind community. So I want to thank you all here today for your unwavering support for SCUC ISD. To that end, it's my pleasure to introduce the stage guests on the other side of the stage that are joining us here tonight. And first, I'm going to ask them to stand, and they don't like to do that, so I'm going to ask them to stand. Half of you work for me, please stand. The other half, you're my bosses. It's up to you if you want to stand. I'm Dr. Greg Gibson, as was announced. We also have Linda Cannon here, our Chief Human Resource Officer. Dr. Tony Wood, our Director of Curriculum Services. And Ms. Cassandra Gracia, our Director of Counseling Services. These are just a few of our central office service staff that are here to help, we hope, make your staff members, your jobs better and easier and more enhanced every single day. So thank you to those that came with me tonight. We also have some trustees here tonight, and I'm going to introduce our board president last because he's going to come say a few words, but we have David Pivoto, board secretary here. Jerry Perkins, Board Assistant Secretary. John Carew, Trustee. And then our Board President, Gary Inman. I'm going to ask him to come join. Or not. If whether he decides he wants to say a few comments or not, that's up to him. Again, he's my boss, but I do want to recognize that at the same time, and I appreciate, again, being mentioned on the TASB superintendent, but at that same time, our Board of Trustees was also going through a contest, which was kind of an interesting experience, and they became one of the top 4 school boards in the state of Texas. Out of 1,100 school boards in the state of Texas, they were in the top 4. And you may have noticed this last few weeks, they were also recognized as one of the HEB Grocery Excellence in Education finalists, which is a really big honor, and we appreciate HEB Grocery Store for doing that big ceremony and for recognizing this board. They get this recognition because every single day, for zero pay, they put themselves out there to make sure that we have all the resources we need and that they're always there to support our staff so that our staff can support our students. So thank you. I have the best school board in the state of Texas, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Good evening. My name is Elijah Dahlford. Today is about us celebrating the culmination of more than a decade of hard work and perseverance in a pursuit to our educational goals. Our speaker knows a thing or two about dedication, commitment, and perseverance as he served the students of SCUC for 35 years before retiring in 2007 as the principal of Barbara C. Jordan Intermediate School. Mr. Dahlford has lived a life of service in all aspects of his life. Not only did he serve 35 years in education, but he also served in the United States Air Force Reserves for 24 years. In 1991, his career was briefly interrupted when he was called to active duty during the Gulf War Desert Storm. Upon retirement, he was named pastor of Greater Refuge Church of Our Lord of Jesus Christ in Seguin, where he inspires and motivates his congregation through sermons and teachings throughout the week. He continues to serve our school district through his volunteer work on the SCUC Education Board Foundation, as well as in the district's community advisory committee. Mr. Dahlford is viewed as a pioneer in SCUC ISD, not only for his longevity in the district, but because he forged many a trail throughout his career. He introduced new methods and philosophies to our districts that are still in place to this day. Based on his many contributions to the Board of Trustees, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved the former Wiederstein campus to be renamed the Marion Dahlford Learning Center in 2009. This is now the home to our district student and academic service departments. Beyond being dedicated to living a life of service and purpose, Mr. Dahlford is known to be one of the most kindest, most genuine individuals that you'll ever meet. He has an ever-present smile and a positive demeanor and is always seeking to encourage those around him to be and give their best in all they do. Therefore, it is fitting that he is here today to do the same for us. I am honored to have this opportunity to introduce to some and present to others our commencement speaker and my grandfather, Marion Dahlford.
I'm not sure if I know how to follow such an introduction. I'm honored tonight and grateful. To members of the board, Dr. Gibson, Ms. Knox, faculty of Allison, Steele, and of course the graduating class of 2017 and your parents. Job well done. You have made it to this point, so we commend you tonight. I appreciate Mrs. Knox for inviting me to celebrate with you tonight. It's truly an honor. And I must tell you that I spent quite a bit of time just thinking about what I would say to you tonight, perhaps some tidbits of wisdom or knowledge that I might share, possibly something that I could offer you to help you on your way on this journey that you're about to begin. I consider topics like life, happiness, success, because those are common goals that we all want to achieve at some point in our lives. But after thinking about it, I thought I really wanted to hopefully provide you with something that you would remember. So I decided to do something a little different, decided to share a little bit about my life's journey. Hopefully it will be a help to some of you. You see, many of you don't realize that in the education sector, I would have been defined as at risk. I was poor. I was a minority, black. It was the 1960s, a time of much racial strife, segregation, and inequalities. My father had a fourth grade education and worked as a carpenter. My mother had just passed away from breast cancer, and I was 11 years old. Shortly after my mother passed, my principal saw me in the hall one day, and knowing that I was one of his truant problems, yelled out and asked me, "Dolford, what are you doing here? You might as well go home. You're not going to finish school anyway." Obviously, I was truly hurt. He saw no future for me. At that point, I wasn't thinking future for myself, but realizing that this great man that I esteemed could see no future for me either. That was devastating. And so I say to all educators tonight and to all parents, be careful what you say to children. Be careful what you say to your students, because perhaps 50 years later, they still remember it. Yes, I was hurt. My options based on my circumstances appeared limited. There was no clear path that he could see for me to be very successful. At that point in my young life, I must confess that I don't know that I had really thought about a future for myself either. So clearly, I was at risk of something, but what? Truth be told, the only thing that I was ever at risk of was allowing someone else to define who I was and who I was destined to be. While my principal, Mr. House, wasn't an inspirational figure in my life story, he was certainly instrumental. That principal helped me to make up my mind right then and there that I was going to be an educator and hopefully one day a principal myself. Only I was going to be the type of principal that spoke possibilities and opportunities to my students, a principal that encouraged and motivated, a principal that envisioned all students reaching their fullest potential and beyond. My students would know that I cared about them, and no matter what they were facing at home, they would always have a friend in the principal's office. No one would ever feel what I felt that day, not if I had anything to do with it. So for that, I'm grateful. That's part of my message for you today. I say to the graduating class, embrace all that life has to offer. The good, of course. The bad, most definitely. There is a lesson to be learned in all of it. You chose a different path in coming to Allison Steele. And in doing so, you embraced the challenges you were facing and decided to turn them into stepping stones instead of allowing them to become stumbling blocks. You visualize yourself attaining your high school diploma by any means necessary. Now, visualizing your future will always serve you well. I often say to my congregation at church, you have to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. Prior to Mr. House telling me to go home, I don't think I spent a whole lot of time even visualizing what my future would be. So that was my pivotal moment. I may not have spent much time thinking of my future until that point, but you better believe that I got serious from that day forward. But just visualizing success didn't make it happen for me. I graduated from high school, but I didn't have the financial means to go any further. But that was not going to stop me from reaching my goal. And I say to you tonight, don't let minor things stop you from attaining your goal. I had to reach my goal that I had set for myself. I wanted to become an educator. So I enlisted in the United States Air Force, which afforded me the opportunity to attend college while working full-time to support my young family. I attained my degree from Midwestern State University and arrived in a small town called Schertz, Texas, which had a population of about 3,200 in 1972. I started my education career at the one new high school, the one new school in the district. That was Samuel Clemens High School, where I taught math. In 1984, 24 years after Mr. House told me to go home, I finally realized my dream of becoming a principal. And now, after committing 35 years to SCUC as an educator, I'm fairly comfortably retired. And that should give me some joy. But in all honesty, my true joy comes when I greet former students on a daily basis, when I go to HEB, when I go to Walmart, when I visit service stations. Anywhere in the community, I'm running into former students all over the community. Students who are now parents and grandparents who remind me of the impact that I had on their lives. Those moments always take me back to my original intent, to make sure that I only deposited positivity and hope in the lives of students. And from what I hear from the community, I say, mission accomplished. So, tonight, my sage advice to you today is to continue to dream big. Visualize nothing but the best for yourselves, and be willing to work hard to make it happen by any means necessary. Take it from me. It may take some time, but whatever you do, don't give up. There is nothing like living a life of purpose. May God bless you on this journey. Congratulations to the class of 2017. Now go out and do great things.
Wow, talk about a tough speech to follow. I'm getting a little nervous now. Just want to say thank you again, Mr. Duffer. That was an amazing speech. Can we give him another round of applause? Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to graduation. For those of you that don't know, which is like everyone, I'm Tristan Carter. When I started here at Allison, I was almost 100% sure I wouldn't graduate. My first day, I walked in and I needed 16 credits, which was a little over half of my sophomore year, my junior, and my senior year. It's a lot of work. And luckily, I got what I like to call the full Allison experience. Every teacher sitting here, I had them at least once. And sometimes twice, maybe 3 or 4 times. And I can honestly say, without them and without my family, I wouldn't be up here talking to you guys tonight. So there are a lot of other people that I would like to thank, not just my teachers, my family. There's people like my wonderful girlfriend, Lauren Schuler, and her family, who celebrated every credit that I earned like I had just graduated. It was spectacular. It was such a morale boost. And there are so many people who have influenced my life, sadly, that couldn't be here today, that are friends that can be considered family. I would list them all by name, but we actually want to go home this evening. And kind of to end things off, I want to address you guys right here, my fellow graduates. This is a lot of pressure. You are standing on the brink where you have to decide what you want to do with your life. It's pretty stressful. And you may not decide it today, you may not decide tomorrow, or even next week. That's all right. Take your time. Do what you will be happy doing, because it'll make life go by so much easier. And there'll be 2 types of people you meet down the road. There'll be people that tell you that you can do whatever you set your mind to, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. And there are people that'll tell you that you can't, that you'll never make it, that you won't succeed. What I want you to do when you meet that second type of person, I want you to look them in the eye. All right, you follow me? Look them in the eye and tell them, shut up. Whether you want to be a welder, a doctor, or an underwater basket weaver, if that is what you want to do in your heart, don't let anyone stand in your way. Last but certainly not least, I would like to thank my Navy recruiter, Petty Officer Vincent Barnes, for inadvertently pushing me towards graduation with that can't leave until you graduate. So I just wanted to say again, thank you everyone for attending. I think I speak for everyone here. We couldn't have done it without you guys.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Aspen Teeples. Graduates, we made it. 12 years, 12 long, painful years. But these should not be the best years of our lives. I mean, if 12 years is the best days of your lives, you must be doing something wrong. Each and every one of you has the potential to change the world. The fact that you are here graduating shows that you have the potential to make a massive footprint in the world. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives, but so was yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day after that.
Our decisions each and every day play a role in sculpting the person we will one day become. Destiny is not preordained. We must all choose the paths our life will take, but everyone makes mistakes and everyone has failures. Nobody goes through life without making one mistake, doing everything perfectly. But our direction is more important than our speed. You need to try each and every day to steer yourself in the right direction and keep pressing yourself forward. Oftentimes, it's our journey that teaches us about our direction. So, live in the moment. Cherish each memory and each moment and each success that comes your way. While here at Allison Steele, I made it my goal to graduate in the year 2017. This was a big task for me to accomplish at the start, and sometimes it did not seem attainable. But I set small, simple goals, and each time I finished a class, I would celebrate by telling my friends and family. By looking at each small step instead of the large staircase, I was able to achieve my goal. I was able to graduate in the year 2017. Now, the point of that story was not to focus on me, but to merely say by small and simple things are great things brought to pass. Greatness is not something given to us. Success is not something handed to chosen people. It takes hard work, dedication, and discipline. Wrestling has been one way I have realized this. In my wrestling career, I had made it my goal to go 3 weight classes lower than my original weight and 4 weight classes lower than what I had previously been competing in. I set small goals each day to eat right, and then soon days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months turned into success. I was able to achieve my goal and wrestle in the weight class I had set my mind to do. Not only be successful, but be successful in your own way, in the way that you feel success is. What is the point in having something if you're not happy? Be the person you want to be and want to become. Ladies and gentlemen, our generation has much potential. We have the power to make a great good in the world. But on the other hand, we also have the power to make the world a lot worse. We need to choose the direction we want to go in and always press forward and walk in that direction. In closing, I would like to say that Allison Steele is a place where teachers encourage us to break the status quo and define ourselves as we choose, where a jock can cook a mean creme brulee, where a brainiac can break down on the dance floor. It's a place where one person, if it's the right person, changes us all. Allison Steele is having friends that we will keep for the rest of our lives. And I guess that really means we really are all in this together. Because once part of Allison L. Steele, always part of Allison L. Steele. At this time, I would like to introduce our principal, Mrs. Julie Knox. During her 25 years in this school district, Mrs. Knox has had the pleasure of working with numerous students at different schools and different grade levels. She was the principal of Wilder Intermediate School for many years, and prior to that, she was the principal at Allison Steele, when the school was new and just beginning to grow. Mrs. Knox's fondness for the students at Allison Steele has brought her back as our current principal.
Thank you, Aspen. Good evening. Thank you for being here to support the class of 2017 graduating seniors. There are many people to recognize this evening. Special thanks to Dr. Gibson and our school board for helping to make this special event a reality. Parents, relatives, friends, and former teachers, and I actually see a lot of former teachers in the audience. Right off, Ms. Harris, thank you so much. Ms. Bond, a lot of you remember Ms. Bond from Wilder, Mr. Knox, the staff at DAP, a lot of you probably had Mrs. Cerna. So thank you for being here and joining us this evening. Seniors, would you please show your appreciation to those who have been instrumental in helping you achieve your goals? Please join me in applauding those people in the audience who are here for you this evening. Thank you. The faculty and staff at Allison Steele build strong bonds and relationships with their students. I'm sure each student has his or her own story to tell about how a teacher has impacted them. In the years to come, I believe these are some of the things that you will fondly remember about your teachers. They never gave up on you. They motivated you. They expected you to succeed. They had a positive attitude, and they truly cared about you. Hopefully those are some of the few things you will remember about your teachers. And teachers, thank you for your dedication and your love of teaching. Raquel Rodriguez and Veronica Martinez have also played a large role in these students' lives. As social workers, they meet with each student and assist them through the application process of becoming students at Allison Steele. It is with great fondness that Mrs. Veronica Martinez is recognized this evening. Mrs. Martinez has worked with thousands of students over the course of her career at Schertz, Cibolo, Universal City Independent School District. Her dedication to our school district, and especially to Allison Steele families and students, is remarkable. Mrs. Martinez is retiring at the end of this school year, and she will be missed by many. Ms. Martinez, could you stand, please? You can approach her. Yeah. Also, a special thanks to our technology department for setting up the live stream so friends and family around the world are able to share in the graduation ceremony tonight. Thank you very much. As Aspen mentioned in my introduction, I was principal of Wilder Intermediate a few years back. Many of my former Wilder students are sitting here anxiously awaiting to receive their diplomas tonight. Maturing from 10-year-old children at Wilder to young adults tonight, ready to face the world, it's a little breathtaking for me. I'm honored to be here and to have been a part of their journey. Seniors, I know you are ready to go and experience the wonders of life. You will encounter good days and maybe a few not so good days. What you make of the not so good days is up to you. Set your goals and never give up. Live your life and have fun. Remember, in the words of Allison Steele, your destiny is your choice. At this time, I present the senior class and certify that the graduates receiving their diplomas this evening have met all requirements of the Texas Education Agency and the Schertz Cibolo Universal City Independent School District. Wait, stop. Seniors, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Myself real quick too, so they're not like. Good evening. My name is Chrissy Hoffman. I have had the honor of teaching these students at Allison Steele, some of them even at Corbett and Dobie, and tonight I have the privilege of reading their names as they receive their high school diplomas. Ramon Zamora III. Trenton Patrick Williams. Caleb Jordan White. Chancellor Eugene Wiggum. Willow Faye Wesley. Hayden Allen Watson. Peyton McKenna Wallace. Mayuri Shise Vasquez. Destiny Cheyenne Alexandria Vasquez. Leslie Jasmine Valadares. Madison Olivia Tracy. Vanessa Karina Torres Aguilar. Receiving the Hank and Marie Rose Holiday Second Chance Scholarship, Aspen Teeples. Jimmy Lane Taylor. Eric Jordan Swenson. Jair McCaleb Shad Stewart. Donchavia Michael Stewart. One of our South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord recipients, Landon Bo Stelly. Ren E. Stein. Austin Michael Stack. A recipient of the South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord, Gabriela Ray Sosa. Zion Jonathan Chandler Smith. Zachary Junior Sierra. Lauren Francis Schuler. Kirsten Alexandra Sawyer. Joshua Kareem Sanchez. Mario Alberto Salazar III. A South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord recipient, Troy Allen Ross. A South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord recipient, Gavin Michael Ross. Uziel Rodriguez. Claudia Ann Rodriguez. Nisa Marie Regollado. Tyler Justin Rauch. Jose Antonio Ramos Jr. Tyler Christian Rafferty. Recipient of a Texas Lutheran University Academic Scholarship, Stormy Blake Owenby. Danny Orozco. Amy Stephanie Munoz. Michaela Brianne Mercer. Scott Michael McDermott. Serenity Marie Mattis. Sahara T. Martinez. Recipient of the Greater Randolph Area Rotary Club Scholarship, Nicolette Jean Martinez. Recipient of the Hank and Marie Rose Holiday Second Chance Scholarship, Nathan George Manwaran. David Anthony Luna Colon. Christian Kylie Lopez. Asia Larae Lemon. Madison Ray Larson. Brianna Ashley Land. Ebony Miranda Lakey. A South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord recipient, August Torque Johnson. Leaf Eric Johnson. Elijah Malik Hutchinson IV. Jeffrey Wade Huseman. Benjamin Ethan Hudson. Sophie Marissa Hubbard. Zion Jamal Hooper. Dawson DeWitt Hines. Talia Mary Heron. Brittany Nicole Herrera. Emilio Joel Hernandez Jr. Erica Hernandez. Chloe Harper. Lissa Alexandria Hall. Arturo Eric Guerrero. Brendan Noah Green. Jason Alex Goodine. Annalisa Michelle Gonzalez. Paige Alexandra Goldsmith. Joseph Arthur Goldsmith. Hope Diane Gladue. Michael Gregory Giles. Selena Monique Garcia. Nicholas Henry Garcia. Leah Destiny Jewel Foley. James Allen Fisher. Nicole Juliana Figueroa. Adriana Michelle Figueroa. Jason Matthew Fernandez. Sofia Concepcion Farias. Caitlin Nicole Estep. Kayla Renee Esquivel Rodriguez. Alexandria Danielle Escamilla. Jaylyn Nicole Edwards. Kalia Marche Dupree. Jillian Elise Dumit. A South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord recipient, winner of the Greater Randolph Area Rotary Club Scholarship and the Texas Lutheran University Academic Scholarship, Alasia Monet Dalford. Esmeralda Delgado. Michaela Deanne Deedy. Owen Charles Curran. Adriana Renee Cruz. Serena Nicole Cologne. Sorry. Alexis Simone Coleman. Dylan Anthony Clements. Caleb J. Clancy. Gage Austin Chain. A South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord recipient, Jesus Jose Castillo. Tristan Andrew Carter. Caleb Dwayne Carmichael. Hayden Weston Bingham. Asia Sinatra Marie Barrett. Hector Daniel Ballesteros. Eduardo Benjamin Baez Zepeda. Adrian Arleth Badu. Amber Arleth Badu. Callista Grace Ottenreith. A South Texas Blood and Tissue Red Cord recipient, Russell Eugene Atkinson. Beatrice Del Pilar Andino Martinez. She's on here. Beatrice Del Pilar Andino Martinez. Maya Renee Board. Alexius Victoria Contreras. Sierra Elizabeth Shannon. Mahogany Tassay Arrington. And that completes our graduates. Mrs. Knox will come back up for a few moments.
This year, that's pretty cool. Congratulations again. Okay. Class of 2017, would you please stand for the tassel ceremony? Okay. Seniors, 2016, your tassel is on your left. Okay? But now you are a graduate 2017. Please place your tassel on the right side. Okay. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the 2017 graduating class of Allison L. Steele Enhanced Learning Center. Congratulations, graduates.